Boston. Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan.
Pushing 5 to play in the third. Kobe. Crawford. Hogan. Oh. Bring it on, Kobe, baby.
You are now tuned into the chat room. Your favorite baller's favorite podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Chatroom Podcast. I am the Senator, and with me today I got Coach Francis.
What it do?
And I also got Dewayne in the building.
What's going on?
And on this episode, we decided to bring in two guests that are going to come with a different perspective than just regular basketball perspectives like we've had in the past. They're going to give you a whole lot of insights on many different things, but don't worry, we are still going to be talking about basketball for a little bit too. So I'm going to give them their chance to introduce themselves and what they do, and then we'll jump into the conversations from there.
Yes, I'll go first. I'm Randy Osei. People know me as Randy Rose. I'm an entrepreneur of African descent. Both of my parents are from Ghana. I born in Montreal, raised in Scarborough, where I met Mr. Francis playing basketball as a young boy. Moved to Brampton later on, went on to play basketball, and now I run a marketing agency called Rose Management, where we work on various projects in and around social impact and endorsements and events and a little bit of everything. And really excited to jump on today's podcast and talk hoops and life. Really, life's been a little crazy, so it would be a good conversation to have.
Definitely.
Yeah, myself, Philip McPherson. Most people know me as Philly or Philly OPE. I started a entertainment company in 2007. I went to high school with Mr. Francis. We played on the same team together for high school and some of rep ball as well. My parents are of Jamaican descent. My entertainment company pretty much provides multiple different services from like marketing, promotion to like building your brands. And we started off doing events, and then we kind of like graduated to like artist management and putting together like concerts and other festivals and stuff that we've been working on.
That's dope. So as you guys can see, we got some entrepreneurs on this podcast, and a lot of the conversations they'll have some great insights on. So let's just jump right into it. Let's talk fashion in the NBA. So which NBA player has the most swag, and which NBA player has the least swag?
For myself, Westbrook has some very, very outlandish stuff I wouldn't necessarily wear that kind of stuff, for myself personally, but I like Bron swag. He always has, he doesn't wear things by accident, when they beat Golden State, he had the Ultimate Warrior shirt on, he wears things with purpose. And I like his swag. I like Chris Paul stuff that he's been doing lately with the HBCUs on his shoes. That's been pretty cool. But yeah, those two for sure. But my bottom two would be Westbrook and Kuzma. Kuzma come out looking like he's Jun Tao.
This guy.
But yeah, those are my two. Bron and what did I say? Shit.
He said CP.
Like Chris Paul.
Bron and CP, yeah. Bron and CP.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I would say most swag or swaggiest, I would say, within that realm would be like PJ Tucker. His shoe collection is crazy. So I'm more so basing it off of that. Maybe not even necessarily the clothes he wears, but just the shoes he has.
Yeah, shoes
is crazy.
My question is, how he's going to take all that stuff out of the bubble in one day?
Multiple trips, man.
Multiple trips, man.
That U-Haul truck.
Yeah.
He told D'Antoni to take it first when D'Antoni told The Rocket he's not coming back.
Oh, yeah, he did. This morning, you know.
And then who's your least?
Least, I'd probably have to say Russell too. Yeah, like some of the stuff he wear, I don't know, man. He could pull it off, but
He could pull it off for him.
I wouldn't dare.
He could be like, I remember he came in some cut up mesh shirt.
Yeah, that.
I was like, yo, first of all, it's not from Yard, first of all. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but he's on something else. But like, he could pull it off.
I'd have to say PJ, and like Kemba Walker. I think Kemba for a little guy, dresses really well, very very clean. This shit's very clean. And PJ as well. I mean, yeah, his kick game is crazy, but some of his fits come together very nice. Like I could see myself dressing like that.
Like
you
that.
know, the opportunity came. Not all of it, but definitely some stuff. To look like a movie actor. I don't know. That's how he feels. He feels like a character every time he comes with someone different, right?
Yeah.
And Lee's, yeah. Although I like it, I like Russell's stuff. I'm like, yo, I like this energy. You know, remember when he came, the crossing guard shirt?
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird, but you're making it work.
Yeah. The biggest thing I'll say is just the swag is just confidence, you know.
Yeah, his confidence protrudes.
Skyrocket. Yeah.
His confidence is but you got to think about it. Like in the NBA, you have to be confident. Like everyone's confident.
Everyone has to be. Yeah.
There's only 450 of you in the world, so everyone is confident.
Exactly.
And as long as you're confident on the court, you'll be fine. But the league is a men's league. It's full of egos.
Yeah.
So your confidence protrudes into the locker room, protrudes into
Your style,
the clothes that you're wearing, the shoes, to the car. Seen it in Last Dance. Michael Jordan always had to be the best because his confidence forced it out of him. The man went from playing the $10,000 car games to the quarters and nickels. Why?
Yeah.
You to know that I'm better than you. And that's confidence mixed with ego, like over the top. So Russ thinks like that because the basketball game is not like that, and it shows. I mean, I don't know where he was this year.
Lakers did.
Yeah,
did their thing,
Russ should have just stayed in Oklahoma.
I mean,
can't go anywhere and make anywhere better. People have to come to him.
Yeah.
People have to come to him.
You gotta put him like he gotta be the only guy.
No, not necessarily. Russ needs the ball.
Yes.
Russ and James Harden both need the ball.
Yeah.
Right. So you put them both on the same team, it's gonna look like someone's out of place.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to find guys that, like, if you get Russ like a Klay Thompson, a guy that doesn't just give him some time to get open and you give it to him, hits it. If Russ had a couple people like that, Steven Adams is perfect for him. I think he needs another
Green,
a four. He needs a four that can shoot threes.
That's why they went
open up his paint and let him play. Russ could. His IQ sometimes though. It's like time and score, sir. Time and score.
Yeah.
What you guys
moves too fast paced, man.
Facts.
Doesn't know when to like switch up the tempo.
Facts.
For me, I think the swaggiest player in the league is Serge Ibaka. I think just the way he puts himself together, this guy really thinks he's the French model.
That's true.
Like, that's the way he carries himself.
Clean though, he's clean.
Yeah, really clean.
Facts.
And he helped OG with his style. He helped OG with his style. So yeah, Serge Ibaka for sure. And at least I'm surprised no one said this. It's got to be Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard can't dress. He can't dress, man. Listen, I'm listen. Yeah, it's Kawhi Leonard. Like he's the basketball player, like hands down. Yeah, he carries himself the way he carries himself. I guess people could classify that as swag. The way he carries himself on the court, that's swag. But me personally,
the socks and the slippers. You've never worn socks and slippers?
I mean, this guy wears that stuff all the time. So
Yes.
I mean,
He's
That
just
is a
comfortable. He's
swag.
chill. Yeah, he's comfortable and chill. Yeah.
Bill Gates. That's what Bill Gates wears.
Facts.
I don't know, man. To me, that's just to me. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's swaggy.
I get where Dwayne's coming from, but honestly, if I had to choose a player that I'm more likely going to dress like, it's more Kawhi, because I just want to be comfortable no matter where I go. Like it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to dress to impress nobody. Like
People that know me know that like I'll pull up to the club wearing the track pants.
Yep.
Did that before, so
yeah, like
I don't care, bro. I
Like
don't care.
personally, the way he dresses is the way we all would dress, personally. But in terms of this conversation, that's why I said.
if I was, even if I was in the league, I'd go to the beach wearing my own jersey, just like he did. Like like you just think. For me personally, it goes. Dwayne took my answer again. I was gonna say Serge Ibaka, and then I was gonna put PJ Tucker on there. So those are the two for me. And the least, it's Kuzma to me. Like half the time I don't know what he's doing. Like I don't know if like during games when he has a horrible game, like he's just trying to think, all right, what can I do to like outdo Russ in a post game? Like that's how it feels. Like he's not mentally in the game. He's trying to just like do something wilder than Russ might do, right? Yes. Like, but Russ does have a different style that I don't think anybody else can pull off. And going back to what you guys said about confidence, there's nobody more confident in the league than Russ.
Facts.
So
this man got 25 last night, still beaking, bro.
It don't matter. Like that guy's confidence level is at the highest all the time. So yeah. Let's move on. So as of today, we know 3 of the 4 conference finalists. So we have the Lakers, we got the Heat, we got the Celtics. Sorry, fanfare. I know you.
I wish Essay was here today, man. I want to hear him tell me.
Because he had a lot to say.
I want to hear him tell me Raps in 6, man.
Don't worry, we might have to record a YouTube exclusive just for that one there.
Yeah.
Just on the next day. But what are you guys' thoughts on how they got there, how each team got there, and like were you guys surprised by anything, or were you guys disappointed by any of the teams? Like, how did you guys feel about these 3 teams making it to the conference finals?
I mean, the first one easy for me. Like, I expected Lakers to be there. Like, that's not. Like, I call both series Lakers in 5, so like I expected that. So that's not surprising to me. But Boston, I called the Boston in 7 as well, but I don't know. Like, a part of me wanted Raptors to be there. You know, like I'm a Toronto kid, so part of me wanted that to happen, but I just didn't see defensively how Raptors could keep up with that intensity. And Boston was missing a starter. So like, I don't know.
You got mad at me in the group chat when I said Toronto was missing a starter for like 6 games. Like he played, but he wasn't there.
Like Gordon Hayward, that's 20 points a game. Like he's a scorer, and like the thing with missing Gordon Hayward, which like Marcus Smart elevated himself, he played well. But what Gordon Hayward does is he allows you to always have multiple scorers on the court at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So like if you look what like end of the series, they had friggin' Shiggy on the court. They had friggin' what's his name? Brad Wanamaker on the court. Like those guys are not scorers. Like they had other guy, the big Williams or whatever the other Williams.
Robert Williams.
Yeah, those guys in the court. Those guys are not scorers. Like what Gordon Hayward does is he allows you to kind of either have Tatum or Brown on the court and have either Smart or Hayward on the court. Like there's times or Kemba. There's times where it was like Kemba looked gassed, and like Hayward gives you that other dimension that I think will eventually put them over the hedge against Boston. I mean against Miami. So yeah, I don't know. Heat. Not really surprised with Heat. All that too. So.
All right, what are you guys' thoughts?
With me personally, I was kind of off it, man. The way we had that big gap for the quarantine and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt the same way as you.
Yeah, obviously, like, being a Toronto kid as well, like, obviously you want to see Toronto there. You'd love to see them, like, win it again without Kawhi so everyone could, like, stop the chatter, but you have to be a realist. Like, there's only so much that they can really do, and especially when your go-to guy doesn't show up, it's like, yeah.
It's tough.
Pack it in.
It's tough.
Yeah, so either which way, any which way it goes now, I don't really care. I'd like to see the Lakers win, just in like a Kobe Memorial type of thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's whatever.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Denver win, but that's going to be a tough one. Just for Jamal.
Yeah.
Just Toronto, obviously. But I feel we played Gasol too much.
Yeah.
Right. On the screen and roll when he's hedging and supposed to be turning the guard up, the guards turn the corner, and now 4-on-3.
Yeah.
And that got us in a lot of trouble. Although Kemba didn't score well, he still gave us a lot of fucking trouble.
Yeah.
Right. Still moved the ball. He still, got into the middle and he tired guys out. Like imagine having to guard Kemba and still having to go put up 30. Like,
yeah,
you're bust. And Kyle Lowry's not young. Probably the oldest guy on the court.
Yeah.
Oldest guy on the
court.
Sure.
Him or Mark.
Yeah. I think Mark's a year older.
Or Mark.
And they're both.
And they played together in Memphis. But if not, I'd rather Boston win it all. To be honest, give those young boys a title early and see what kind of league it becomes.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, like they're next up because most of the guys are signed for multiple years.
Yeah.
So unlike Raptors, like they're gonna be a different team next year because Mark probably.
Are we gonna talk about that? What do you think they should do with their off season?
Yeah, I mean, we're here right now. Like, it's tough. I mean, I don't know where they go from here because Giannis, he's not a free agent for another 2 years, right? Because he has next year, and then after that, he can play the second year and be a UFA after that. So unless they already said they're not trading him, so it's tough to kind of go forward with that. So I don't know where they go because do you really want to give Freddie max money? I don't know.
They need bigger guards, man.
They do. They need bigger guards, but it's you don't want to lose Freddie because you see in many games this series Kyle Lowry is the heart and soul of the team. That's unquestionable. But in many games, Freddie was that spark plug, keeping them attached.
He keeps you in the game.
Yeah, for many games he was that guy. So you don't want to lose that. But
the problem is that they
money.
have
I don't know.
the problem that Toronto has right now is that they have to make really hard decisions.
Yeah.
And if you look at who's supposed to be a free agent, you have Fred VanVleet, you have OG Anunoby, you have Ibaka, and you have Gasol, right? I don't see them bringing back Gasol, right? I think that in the Game 7, I think Ibaka should have played a little bit more down the stretch because he
started the game out 11.
Yeah, because he was one of those guys that if you put in, he was gonna stretch the floor for you. He was grabbing the rebounds. He was a defensive presence. There's a lot of time when Siakam is in there, and I'm just seeing the smaller guys getting boards over him. All this stuff. You needed that And especially on the free throws at the end of the game where Tatum got it back and got to shoot free throws. Like, you should have had your bigs in there for sure,
Yeah,
because you had a timeout. You had 2 timeouts.
that
So,
play was just effort and just.
I know, but if
lack
the
of
game's
focus.
on the line, you need to make sure you secure. It's the same thing to me. It's the same problem that Spurs had when Miami won the championship, right? When you took out Tim Duncan and Chris Bosh grabbed the rebound and kicked it out to Ray Allen, right? Like, plays like the small lineup changes make big impacts at certain points of the game, right? So, like, that was my only thing. Like, I would have had Ibaka in there a little bit more, but they just have a lot of decisions to make as Toronto in general, right?
Oh, Ronde's a free agent too.
He is.
Yeah, he
that's-
is. Yeah.
It's tough, and honestly, like, you don't want to sign any of those guys really to a big deal, because then you're kind of taking yourself out of the Giannis equation, you know. So, like, it's like you want to keep Freddie. Freddie's gonna probably demand maybe what, 15 mil a year or something like that. I don't know, like. And then, like, you want to keep OG because it's a wing lead, you know, like most teams have guards and wings, and OG showed his value in this series. But then again, you don't want to lose either Ibaka or Gasol, because now you're a really small team.
Or you're putting a lot more trust in Boucher than you're ready for at this point.
Boucher,
so,
yeah,
like,
I mean-
that's where you just, it's gonna, to tell you the truth, if there's one GM that I think will have a plan,
Masai,
it's Masai. So, like,
he's definitely
I'm not gonna question, like, the choice, like, what he does, because he's proven that he can build teams, right? And he's proven his personnel knowledge. But it's just, as for us as fans or fans of the NBA looking, it's like, all right, they really got some choices to make, and who can they pick up to replace certain, or who might they draft? Like, it's gonna be, there's so many factors that plays into it. So,
like, this might be the last time we see the Raptors guys be come to know them, you know, because that's like 5 players from free agency, or who could leave basically for free agency, and then, you know, might be trades here and there, because I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. Like, that's why I think part of it. I think Lowry was just kind of so distraught and stuff after the game, you know, like, because like next year you don't know what's gonna happen next year, because so much movement could happen, you know. So that was tough.
Dwayne.
Yeah, I mean, with the Raptors series, I mean, you guys have all expressed it. It would be disappointed that they couldn't get the job done. A little disappointed at Siakam's effort, but at the same time, I mean, what's funny to me is you have a lot of people now talking about Siakam, get him out of here, all this stuff. These were the same people that were cheering his name when he helped with the championship, when he won the MVP. I mean, this guy's only been playing ball for 8 years. He hasn't been playing long. He was in the D League a few years ago. So, I mean, what more do we really want from this guy? He was told, listen, you're the guy. He didn't ask for this. He didn't ask for this position. They just kind of gave him the reins and said, we got nobody else. Here you go. So, I mean, under the way people are treating him, I don't think he deserves that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really tough to be thrown in a situation like he was, and be expected to be the top guy. And I'm really not shocked at the result. I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Raptors, with what they had, it was a hell of a series. But clearly, I mean, those young boys on the Celtics, they're just really good. These are really talented players. So, I mean, with that Celtics and Miami series, I think it's going to be a pretty good series. I think that series will go 7 as well. I don't think that's going to be a quick series that Miami ends or Celtics end. That's probably going to go 7. It's going to be really hard fought series. I can see the Celtics taking that one and getting to the finals. I really do. I think they have enough personnel.
Good job, Denver. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry. Good job, man. Good job.
Man, this guy's making my edit work even harder.
Sorry. I just got a notification on my phone. Up right now.
Yeah.
3 minutes ago in the game.
And obviously with the Lakers, I think the Lakers will. I mean, they'll get to where they need to get. They'll get to the finals, and I think the Lakers will probably win everything. Just with the storyline and everything like that. I think the Lakers. I think they have it. I just don't see them losing. I don't see them losing. I really don't. So,
man.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with all this.
The group chat's gonna blow up after they see this. I'm gonna tell you that for real. Okay, so my biggest disappointment has nothing to do with on-court stuff. It's the Toronto fans, right? That switched. But then I also had to stop and think about it the other day, and I think most of you guys will remember, like back when the Raptors was doing the whole European ball era, that I call it, right? When like 80% of our team was like European players. We didn't have the fan base that is being shown right now. It's when they started to make the playoffs, all of a sudden you had the I've been a Toronto Raptors fan for the longest, and since it came out, like that was the fan base that we were accustomed to. So when I stopped and I thought about it, that they didn't make the finals or they didn't win, and Siakam, who just got paid, didn't play to the potential that everyone wanted him to play, I knew something like this was going to happen. Like it was disappointing that it did happen. Right? Like they didn't appreciate the actual. There was analysts that said Raptors weren't even going to make the playoffs, right? And they finished second in the East. Like probably, I think it was like the third best record in the NBA. Like that's an accomplishment. Yeah, we didn't win the championship, but all right. There's no reason for the petitions that I saw floating online. So I'm more disappointed by those fickle fans that just are only there when it's a good time, but don't ride when it's a bad time.
Yep.
And Lakers are Lakers, and I don't want Lakers to win the championship. Now, I'm like on the fence. If they won, I'd be happy because it's in memory of Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I won't be able to stand the LeBron fans if the Lakers win.
Oh, no question.
So,
no question. Full swing.
So I will take any team winning the championship except the Lakers because I can't stand LeBron fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Fair enough.
That's my analysis on that situation.
All right,
Coach.
Let's see, where are we at?
Jerseys.
All right. So, what are your favorite jerseys of all time? Favorite uniforms of all time?
I think I want to start this off. So my favorite NBA jersey for me of all time is the 95-96 Raptors jersey. I think that's and a lot of I know a lot of people say that too. Like that's the consensus for a lot of people in the league. They say those Raptors jerseys, the purple one with the pinstripe.
Yeah. Those are classic.
Yeah, with the dinosaur. I think that one's the best. Yeah. To me, that's my favorite jersey of all time.
Yeah, I like the Vancouver Grizzlies one with like the
I'm just stealing my answers.
Yeah, like not the white one though,
the turquoise or teal. Yeah.
That one's fire. I like that one. Like there's the Orlando Magic's one where the pinstripe is fire.
That's 92.
I don't know what year it is. But
yeah, I think 92, 93.
There's like one of Jordan's first jerseys, like the Chicago with like the cursive writing.
Oh,
I remember
that's
that one.
that's 87, 88. Yeah,
This man has years down.
yeah, I remember though.
Nah, he searched it up before. He did some.
No,
real-
I didn't. I swear I didn't, yo. I just know.
Those are fire, but yeah, those are three off top of my head where I'm like, yo, those are tough. And then obviously like the rappers.
All right. Randy, Phil, you guys got one?
Well, my first two already got taken. I'd probably say next up would be like maybe the 2000-2001 Philly jersey. Just because I'm a big AI fan, and I think that was the first jersey I ever like purchased myself. So yeah, I say that since my guys took my first two.
I have my first jersey was a Kobe jersey in like 02, 03, black and yellow, or black, yeah, it was black and yellow Laker jersey. I had the black chucks with the yellow. That was my fit. Yeah, so that one of the Jordan All-Star jerseys that's white, blue, and red.
Yeah.
LeBron wore it for his high school slam cover.
Yeah.
That jersey was hard. And probably just like the Bulls away jersey, the old one, the one that Michael played in his last season, the 97, 98 season. Yeah, those away solid red with the black Bulls.
Yeah.
Fire.
For me, I think it's the black Phoenix Suns jersey. I just really like those ones, and I like the Lakers blue one. The Lakers blue with the white writing. Yeah, like those two to me were my favorite ones. So
there's honorable mention the Miami Vice jerseys.
Oh, those are hard.
There's two versions of them, right?
There's
the black and the blue
one, and then there's the blue one.
Yeah, I think the black one to me is my favorite one of the two.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's a honorable mention for sure. I think the blue ones, I don't know, like those make me feel like I'm on a beach somewhere. You know, like this has that kind of look and feel to it. Like shit, I'd wear that if I was walking down South Beach or whatever. You know.
That looked like a jersey you'd want to buy if you're playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Like
Facts. All right. Well, for the guests that are here, kind of, how did you guys get started in what you guys are doing? So you guys are both entrepreneurs. You guys are both kind of big representatives in the industry and stuff. So like, how do you guys get started doing what you guys do?
Randy, you want to go first? Well, for me, it dates back to like high school actually. Well, like I said, like Mr. Francis and I went to high school together. So when I reference this teacher, you'll probably remember him, Mr. Kirschenbaum.
Yeah.
Like marketing and all that. So pretty much our last project before we graduated and like left school was like a marketing project to pretty much make a mock business. And that was like probably the best mark I ever got in high school. So from there, I felt like, we should try and put this business together and actually make it real life. So at that time, On Point Entertainment was the business. And we started off just doing like a lot of house parties. Like my cousin, like if you're from Scarborough, a lot of people like know my family or know myself or whatnot. So we were doing like probably every single person's house party that came up that year. So from 2007 to like 2009, there isn't a basement in Scarborough that we probably never saw, like DJing and hosting parties and whatnot. And then from there, we just started doing like all ages events. The first event we did was at I can't remember what the place is called right now, but it was at Markham and Lawrence. And we pretty much like sold out that night. Like the police came and tried to shut us down the way we were over capacity. And later on that summer, we did a barbecue and we did like 500 people at Morningside Park. For those familiar with the East, you know where that is. Yeah, we just kept building from there. We took it from all ages, went to 19 plus events, and from there it led to like artist management, then also putting together like concerts and certain festivals and working alongside other like big establishments to help them like pretty much bring their vision to life on whatever events they were doing. So pretty much everything stemmed from high school. That's like one teacher I'll never forget. I've been trying to get in contact with him because I want to, be able to like just sit down with him, maybe go to dinner or something, and just like thank him, get him a gift, get him something, because I feel like if I never really took that class, I don't know if I would have still ended up on this path, So definitely have to shout him out and give him his thanks. If I can find his contact anywhere. So if he sees this, Mr. Kirschenbaum, holla at me.
That's tough. No, that's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, I got started in 2012. 2011. I was playing college ball at Laurier, and then I transferred to Durham to go play. And before my first game, I broke my foot, and then on my left foot. I was out 6 to 8 weeks. Came back in 8 weeks. Third practice, broke it again. So then I'm like looking at basketball, and I'm just like, I don't know if I could do this with you. I'm not gonna be one of those guys that are always injured, and I'm not going through that.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, what else is happening? So I started coaching. I went back to CIA Bounce, old AAU team, and it was a year we had like Bennett and Wiggins and Ennis and Brooks, and like all these guys are little brothers to me, right? And I'm just around, just really helping. I'm really, 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 really helping, and driving kids to practice. Like, so I was like an equipment manager / team manager / assistant coach / I wore multiple hats, with those kids, and it was good because I got to see different sides of basketball because it wasn't the AAU that we played, This was Nike, EYBL.
Yeah.
Kids are getting flown to games. Like we're flying to games. We're not doing the buses no more. We're walking in gyms and John Calipari and Mike Krzyzewski and Roy Williams all sitting in a row and coming and say hello to you. And you're just like, what the hell? So I'm seeing all of this and I'm just around it. And the following year, Anthony was going to the NBA, and we had built a relationship a year or two before, but I had known him since he was like 14 because he played Brampton Raptors with me. And he was just like, I want you to be my manager. Not really knowing what it was. I knew my boy Daryl was working with Tristan at the time, so I would ask him, but he was new as well. And I was like, sure. So I ended up moving to the States, got a work visa, and I was in the States 2013, 2018, working with a lot of different players on everything off the court. So got a lot of experience in marketing and branding and events and investments and biz dev and sales and so on and so forth. I had eventually left school early, so I didn't graduate, and kind of took this leap of faith to see where things would go. And currently, I started two of my own companies, one in marketing and branding, and another is a media and events company around entrepreneurship. The second one is the Athlete Tech Group, and what we're doing there is going to be very, 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 very big. I think we're really focusing on the Canadian tech ecosystem and getting athletes involved and small businesses involved, and it should be really, really good. So how I got started was playing balls with the thing that I love. That changing for me, and looking to see what else was out there, volunteering my time to help some kids get through their own visions and dreams, and that, turned into a job. A job's now turned into a career, and now looking at ways to increase social impact and trying to keep people positive and, just trying to inspire people and motivate and build and collaborate. Because everyone's going through a tough time, me included. The days are moving a lot faster, but still slowing down at the same time. So it's very, it feels very weird. That we're in September, and it felt like COVID just came last week. But we're in September, going into October.
Been what, 5-6 months?
Yeah. How long it's been? It's been a long time, and it's like being able to adjust. It's the big thing for me is a lot of the things that I've learned in sports is the same things that I'm using today as an entrepreneur. Where getting up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym, stretching before bed, that type of discipline, that type of focus. If I got to be somewhere at 2, I'm there at 1:40. I'm still doing those things as an entrepreneur now, but I'm just wearing a different suit or a different jersey. That's currently where I'm at, and it's a different time. So I gotta applaud you guys for doing this and doing it consistently, because there's a lot of things around us that are not consistent.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
We got Dane Smith in the building. How you doing, man?
What up, brother? How's it going?
It's going well.
Yo, funny story. When I was in grade 7 or 6, I was like 12 or 13. I remember I went to this tournament. I think it was in Hamilton, and I seen Dane Smith play for the first time.
Stop this.
At the braids. When he had the braids.
Braids Dane.
Yo, he was my favorite basketball player growing up. Every time I see him, I tell him, I'm like, bro, I don't think you understand.
Oh, man.
He was very Kemba to me.
Yeah.
Quick, fast, smooth, never rushed, did what he wanted when he wanted. And I'm like,
had that midi down too. The midi was down.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. He was a solid player. And I was like, I like him.
Appreciate it. Oh, man. Rage Dane. Yo, like I told these guys, Rage Dane's different, but I don't know.
Well, as you guys can see, somebody joined the podcast now and got probably the greatest intro that somebody else can.
Oh, man. The guys.
How you doing, though?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you guys. Sorry for coming on late.
It's all good.
But yeah, man. Yo, how's everyone doing, man? I don't know where do I jump in? I see Phil.
So,
Phil,
you came in at the right time because we were just talking about they were just talking about their journeys to how they got to where they're at right now, right? Their entrepreneurship level right now. Yeah. So you came in perfectly. So if you just want to quickly introduce yourself again, right? And just say what you're doing and how you got to where you're at, you're caught up.
All right. So yeah, my name is Dane Smith. I went from Toronto native, and played in the West End at my grade 9 year. And then I don't know, I had an interesting grade 9 year, and that summer, I got introduced to the whole West Hill family. And after that, once I got to West Hill, it was an eye opener in terms of just the competition and where do I fit in, even because I came with my twin brother Dewayne. And so got to West Hill, and then that was a whole new ball game from the West End all the way to the East End. I never knew of that world, the language.
It's crazy how much people tell me that the West End, the East End is 2 different worlds, yo.
Bro, it is.
I hear that so much.
It is.
It's growing up in the East. I just think of it as
it's different for us, man. Because I'm the East guy. I grew up in the East. It's different for me, guy, than growing up in the West.
Nah, you go to the West. I'm like, oh shit.
You guys have a vibe.
I get it.
Ask Randy. Randy knows. Randy knows, man. Like when you go to the East, they're like, holy smokes. Like what?
It's a different world.
Different out here.
It's a different world.
Hey, I can't even speak to that. I just know it's different moving from Toronto to Calgary. So that's a whole different.
Yeah, that's a different ballgame still.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
what was
just you were saying you came over West Hill, and like how you kind of transition from like West Hill to kind of getting into what you're doing now with all the Varna Drive and all that stuff now.
Oh man, that whole like the biggest the transition stage I'd say was my last year in university. Just to fast forward, leaving when I finished my commitment as an NCAA athlete, and now it's like like when you finish high school, you're like, okay, what's the next move? And so my first move was like, okay, I got to graduate first before I can entertain any type of pro contract or anything. And so that finally took me out of like, I took my athlete's hat off finally after like so many years. And I was like, oh, I'm just a regular student. I have March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months of just being a regular student. And so I started dabbling, like I took marketing classes, and I took we did one course on the Memphis Grizzlies, how they transferred from Vancouver all the way to Memphis. And so that was my whole project I did, and so I understand the whole marketing stuff. And then when it came time for me to make a decision, Dane, do you want to go for these drafts, or do you want to go straight into like finish your grades and stuff? I said, look, I'm gonna finish, and that's that. And so I don't know, luck of the draw. Like I don't know if I had a good agent. Before I was in summer school, he's like, yo, Dane, you got a pro contract. Do you want to sign it? I signed that thing so quick. I was like, all right.
Say less.
Yeah, I was like, all right, bet. I ain't got to worry. I don't have to worry about like where am I going, this, that. So I signed it. And then when I got into that world, bro, the professional world was like another like, holy shit. Cause I thought it was good enough to get a lot of minutes and do what I do. But when I got to that world, man, it was like everything was just strictly business, what time you get into the gym, and just the professionalism. And then I think Varna Drive, all that camp probably happened in December when I had like a really good game as a rookie. And like I felt so good, like they just made me feel so welcome and stuff. And I was like, man, I can't even take another step further in this whole like basketball world or anything I do without giving respect to like what made me like really, really good. So that's where it boiled up from. And then, you know how you draft some stuff up, go to places, and then figure out what the logo and stuff. And then that was the birth of it. So yeah.
Let's go.
That's tough.
What else? I guess now moving forward, again to fast forward, it's been about 2012 when I first like start the campaign. I just had good mentors, good vets that really taught me like more life lessons versus like entrepreneurship side. Like I was like dabbling with so much stuff, and one of my vets that played for &1, his name's Eric Cruikshank, he was like, man, I see what you're doing, Dane. Dot your I's and cross your T's before you jump into like all these projects you want to do. And so I took that literally, and like he explained it to me like, yo, you're trying to write a book, you're trying to do this, trying to do that, but you got to make sure everything's done properly. And so he allowed me to like, he just gave me a lot of game, man, a lot of game. And so then when I don't know, like whenever I just went about the whole Varna and the camp and I was speaking to professionals, I wasn't off. Like I spoke the same language. They couldn't look at me like different, like I didn't have sense. And so like I just kept rubbing the right shoulders, and then slowly but surely it just like started making a small like buzz. And then I got my big break was in 2016 when I played in the celebrity game. And I don't know, that came around. I know if you were an entrepreneur in 2016, you were like anticipating for the NBA to come to Toronto. So I don't know, I had 4 agents. They just lined me up nice, and I played in the celebrity game, and then from there everything just like catapulted, like, and that was that, man.
Mm-hmm. So kind of piggybacking off of that, like you said that was your big break. So like, what for the others, like what was your damn I made it moment? Like, not to say you guys are juggernauts in your field or whatever, like everyone wants to improve, everyone wants to get better and stuff, but like what was your moment where you're like, yo, like
I should keep doing this?
Yeah, like what was that moment like for you, that kind of that moment for you?
I still don't think I had that moment yet. Only because as an athlete, bro, when you think you arrive, it's like that's when you're sadly mistaken. But I think I don't know, man. Like I just started noticing patterns. If anything, like just keep it simple. Like okay, yeah, 2014 when North Commercial came on. 2016 they asked me to do another project with it, and every single year they kept asking me. So I'm like, oh shoot, I'm actually affiliated with this. And then I don't know, like I always had a dream to like we were all like with Nike and stuff, doing big stuff with Nike. Every friggin' 2 months we get gear, and so obviously everyone wants to get sponsored, and so I guess like Puma, I sent them a pitch. I didn't know shit about pitches or decks till this year, and I sent them a good pitch, and then they were like, "Yo, Dane, we want to keep you involved for like an extensive time, probably a 5-year commitment." And I was like, maybe that was the closest. I was like, oh shoot, 5 years, like, and that happened like 2019, just before COVID. So if I had to pick a moment, it's probably that.
That's tough.
Yeah, but I learned off Randy though.
So I guess Randy got to answer next.
He's next. Randy and Phil are next. Phil was the earliest though.
Oh please, Dane. Without the braids, I wouldn't be here. Without the braids, I wouldn't be here. No, I've had a couple of moments where I was just like, "Oh, you just did some shit." That's as far as my thoughts went. Like, yo, you just did some shit, Randy. And one of them was All-Star Weekend that we had in Toronto. All-Star Weekend we had in Toronto. I threw a party, my very first party ever. I'd never thrown a party before. I threw a party at Versailles, All-Star Thursday. And we put Jonas Valanciunas, Kelly Olynyk, Andre Drummond, and Dwight Powell on the flyer. So like nothing crazy, right? Shaq had a party that night, and Wiggins had a party that night. But everyone came to my party. And Toronto clubs, like you get rammed like 12:30, 1. This was rammed at like 11:30. Nobody could get in. I remember during the night, Allen Iverson came to the door.
Yes.
And they called me outside. They're like, "Yo, Randy, they won't let him in." And the police are standing right there. They're like, "If you let anyone else in, you're shutting this whole thing down." So I just turned and I looked at AI, and I was just like, I don't know what to tell you. But you were still one of my favorites. Like, you were still one of my favorites. Yeah, and then he left. He was cheesed. He was actually cheesed, but what do you want me to do? That was one.
Tough decision.
That's tough.
Yeah,
That's tough.
that was one. And then last year, we hosted the Athlete Technology Summit. And that was like 9 months of like planning with no strategy. I know nothing about technology, nothing. I barely even know how to use my iPhone. And to be able to, put that together, execute it, the numbers that it did, media, number of athletes and startups, and so on and so forth. That was another. Oh, you've done some shit. Like that's what I like to call that moment. Oh, you just did some shit. I haven't had the I've made it moment. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah, for me, I would have to agree with the both of them. Like I don't think I've hit that, I've made it moment, but there was some moments when it's like, yo, maybe this isn't for me. There's like certain parties we did when we first started off, the type of losses we took, I should say, because at the time I was working with Dane and David would know him, but Beans at the time.
Oh, Beans.
Yeah, the losses we took at the beginning was You know what I mean? Like it's
I hear you. Yeah.
for any like entrepreneurs, any people that are planning to start their business. Like if you're not passionate about what you do, you might as well not even do it. Because I feel like if I wasn't passionate about just the whole entertainment game and putting our brand together and building our brand and like just building our name within the industry, I would have quit long time and just went and did something else. But the passion is what really kept pushing us through all the failures. And the failures, I wouldn't even necessarily classify them as failures. It's more so like lessons. So for every time that we took a L, it's just something else to like learn instead of to consider it a loss, But I would say I hit a turning point when I was able to link up with DJ Charlie B. I know most guys in the group here should know who he is or heard his name or whatever before, but I feel like when you're building and trying to get further ahead, it's better you link with the right people because you'll go further. A lot of the time people try and go alone because they can go faster, but it's not a race, it's a marathon, So I feel like when we linked and we were able to like put our minds together and really build on certain projects that we already had and certain projects that he already had, we were able to like just amplify everything and hit a lot of milestones. Like last year, a party that we do called I Love R&B hit 10 years. It was our 10-year anniversary. And we were able to bring down Cisco from Drew Hill.
Oh,
It's been 10 years.
Pardon?
It's been 10 years.
Yeah. Well, it would have been 11 this past year. But COVID, messed that up for us.
I didn't even realize it was that long, to tell you the truth.
The biggest thing, I'm telling you, like the one party I'm so envious that I didn't go to.
Bro, I'm telling you, like right now, with all honesty, as much as I throw my birthday party every year, that's like I Love R&B is the one party. If I could only choose one party to throw for the rest of my life, if I ever get to throw a party again, due to our circumstances in the world now, it would be that party, hands down. I wouldn't even question. My birthday is whatever, but I Love R&B. Oh man.
This man did. I'll never forget it. This man did a party and brought out Cardi B before she was hot. I was heated, bro. I see my picture. I was heated. I was like, hi. Brought out Cardi, and like this is before she was like.
Yeah, that was just before she just before she dropped Bodak Yellow.
Yeah, it was right before she popped. I'm like, yo, I'm heated. I didn't miss that party. I was heated.
I feel like it was those things that really kind of like kept me going. Like once we started to like build our network more, certain people are coming to the city and they're linking us like, yo, what's popping tonight? What do you guys have going on? For the guys in here that have come out to a weekly party that we had at the time called Showtime Saturdays. I know Randy came there. Randy brought a couple of his clients there before. And I know I'm pretty sure Dane came out at 1-2 time. Mr. Francis, you already in Calgary that time.
David dipped. Francis dipped.
Yeah, like those things. Those things made me really realize like we're on the right track. Like especially All-Star Weekend when it came to Canada was major for us. The amount of parties that we did, the amount of connects that we made, and certain business deals we were able to close then was like Randy said, I did some shit, So everything was going in the right track, and it still is now. Like even though COVID hit, it allowed me to find like other businesses that I could tap into. Like I recently bought into a tattoo shop out in Pickering called Rockstar Tattoo Parlor. So it's like pretty much.
Congrats.
Expand my entrepreneurial skills, because my main background is marketing advertising. That's what I went to college for. That's what I graduated for. I should say, sorry, like a marketing degree and whatnot. So yeah, it's just been trying to find other ways. Like, with all of us, we're all hustlers in our own respect. So COVID was really like an eye opener. If you felt like, your eggs were in one basket, by now you should pretty much, be spreading out yourself a bit more. Not just relying on one income or one job to take care of you, because nothing's really guaranteed. Nothing's really forever,
Yeah. Definitely.
For you guys, who is someone that you guys would like to collaborate with our work with in the future? Anyone could pick this one up.
Man.
Think I haven't even gone that far.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
what I will say is, maybe this was a collaboration, but after last year's tech summit, I wrote on my vision board for 2020, to bring Kobe Bryant to Toronto to be our guest speaker to really push the tech summit, because the tech summit was good, but I'm like, nah, I'm about rapid growth, right? So we did it once. Now I have a proof of concept, because when I was building it, people were like, how do we know you can put together a 2-day conference and have 400 people come together if you've never done it before? And I'm like, you guys just need to listen to me. I have done it before, just not like this. So it was tough year one. Going into year two, so coming into 2020, I was like, you know what? I need to get this off with a bang. I'm gonna go after Kobe. So I had reached out to Kobe's people in like November, and Kobe was gonna cost $300K USD for 2 hours of his time. It was a $50K. Went to a private jet, because he only flies private. He doesn't fly commercial. And that other $250 is for 2 hours of his time. So I sat there and I'm like, all right. And I still have the notes in my iPad, because I wrote them down, and I won't touch it. I screenshotted it. I can send it to you guys.
Big.
How I broke it down was, all right, if Kobe's going to come to Toronto, how do we almost make it a weekend about Kobe? So I was like, well, he'll come to the tech summit, get on stage for 30 minutes, do 15 minutes worth of media that we'll be able to, share as our reach and impressions and all that. And then have him do like a book signing. Kobe was writing a lot of books, writing a lot of stories, right? So bringing in the Indigo or chapters, have him do a 30-minute book signing and maybe like a little panel discussion for kids. And the third thing was having a basketball tournament with his daughter's team, right? Because that was his focus. Yeah. And our women's basketball players in Toronto, from what I see on Instagram, because I haven't been to a game in a long time, they look very good. They look like they're very, very good at basketball. So I was like, all right, let's build this weekend around him. Because Kobe's never really been to Toronto outside of just playing the Raptors. How many of us can say we've seen Kobe on King Street? We seen him at the ACC, and that was it.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? So that was one person I was like, oh man, if I can make that happen, I'm gonna try. And I was trying. I was on my way. But yeah, this year's been all over the place. But outside of that, I don't know. I don't.
That's a tough question, though.
Yeah, that's hard to answer.
That's a tough one.
Like, in a perfect world, if I could, like, obviously connect with Will Smith, wow, that's great. But, like, realistic goals.
Yeah.
Realistically, who would I want to work with? I don't really have any one per se, I'm big on energy. Like, when we rock and, you're my dog, and if we speak a certain language, we'll get some stuff done. Regardless of who you are. Or what you are, or what people perceive you to be, because that's another thing. Like, there's a lot of people out there that say that they're this or say that they're that, and when it comes down to executing, don't execute. So, yeah. As much we're in a relationship-based business with people have become very hard to like trust and collaborate and build with. So. I kind of cross that bridge when it comes. Yeah. I almost look at it. Sorry, this last piece. I almost look at every project.
Come with it.
Project as a general manager, right? So when I threw that party for Caravana Weekend, I had to build a team for that specific party. When I did the Athlete Tech Summit, I built a team specifically for that event. when we did, Innovate Her or the Do Your Part celebrity game, I did that with a different group. Like I don't work with the same people every single time. So I almost look at it as I'm a side. And every time I hit free agency and I gotta, bring in the right graphic designer, the right videographer, the right photographer, the right DJ. Not everyone is for everything, right? Yeah. So you gotta kind of curate your space and your vision the way you see it, because only you can see it the way that you see it.
That's a bar.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bar, man.
That's hard, man.
That's hard. Yo, Phil, you want me to go next or you got it? Yo, Phil, I can't feel your love. Like,
I gotta say, both of your daughters are beautiful, though.
My daughter's sleeping right now.
Appreciate it.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yes, Francis, yes.
But she's not as old as your guys though. So she's just gonna be one soon.
Okay, fresh, cool now.
Fresh.
Yes, welcome, yes, brother.
Oh, and before you guys answer, let's quickly say once again, R.I.P. to Kobe, R.I.P. to Gigi, off of your story, Randy. R.I.P. to all the people that lost their lives in that helicopter accidents.
Yeah.
Girl dad, Joe.
And it's represented on this podcast right now.
100%.
Yeah, man.
You guys are the real heroes, man. Keep going. Every day you have to be that. Like, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I know.
Say, Phil, she about to get a nap time.
Yeah.
See it.
See the look.
Mm-hmm. Hell. But yeah, no, I'll jump in next then.
Yeah.
So sorry, what was the question again? Just
somebody or somebody you want to collaborate with, or like a company you might want to collaborate with. Yeah. Like, who would you want to
build with?
So just to build with it just depends. Like right now, I don't know what field I would want to step in, because I would want to if I had to build someone, it would probably be someone that I have no recollection of their field, and someone I can learn a lot from. Like I think this summer I had a sick mentor, and it was by fluke. Like it was a dude that does mining, and he does salt, and he sells salt to Toronto. I know nothing about salt, but I was with this guy. I was with him for almost 2 months of the summer, and so when it's winter time, he's selling salt to the city, and he's good. He's good. So if I had to jump in a field, it'd probably be mining with salt, because salt's a mineral. It's forever. You need it for everything. And this is just I'd go in so humble. I don't know too much, so I'm just gonna take the back seat. But at the same time, I have an entrepreneurial brain where I'll pick things up quick and see where transferable skills are. I think he was real keen on time and looking over data hard. If someone will tell you something, this guy would 5 minutes later look it up himself, and if he was wrong, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, the data you showed me, the source wasn't reliable." Who says that? I'm like, "Yo, fam, one of my boys told me, and I seen it too. What do you mean it's not reliable?" So just that great detail of how he, was keen on one business transaction for 6 months. A lot of conversations. So I'd probably be salt, but that'd be the one person. But I don't know, man. I've always gone by a 12-month campaign where each year I try to knock off 2 months that I know for sure are in stone. I don't have to go back and backtrack. So if we had to say right now, I'd say I've knocked off 4 months out of 12 that I know for sure I'm straight. Summertime, Christmas, and March. So now I gotta worry about probably a couple more, 8 more months, whatever. I don't know, my math's off. Yeah, 8 months. I gotta worry about 8 more months now for the rest of the year. So now this next year I'll try and knock off 1 more month. then one more month, and then once I get to 12, man, like I know like clockwork. I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel. I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing and the same thing until like I exhaust it. So I think yeah, my seat that leaves me with what I don't know, September, October, November. Those are the seasons I would have to look into like do a project with. I don't know. It just really depends. It really depends.
All right.
Love that.
Randy, and thank you, Dane, for allowing me enough time to think about it. But yeah, after giving it some more thought, I would say there would be probably two companies I would say I'd want to like collaborate with in some type of form. One being like Rock Nation, because like seeing pictures from the brunch that they throw every year, it just and you can see by the people the caliber of people that attend the event, it would be a dope place to be, to just network and just to take in the atmosphere in terms of like motivation and having a better understanding of like the entertainment game, because there's people that's been in there from like before we were born, the people that are just getting in there now, so you can kind of get like a good grasp or a good understanding of like the way the game has evolved, and just pretty much just get a better understanding of the game itself. Like, you know, in order for you to really understand something, you need to kind of know it from top to bottom. So this is how the game was before the internet came in. This is how the game was when the internet hit, and this is how it is now that, you know, social media is such a powerful platform within like everything that we do. So I would say Rock Nation most definitely, just in terms of like their brunch and like the different concerts and festivals and stuff that they're able to put on, to be on like such a big level and be pretty much like worldwide.
Yeah,
Rock Nation would be one, and with this new venture that I just got into at the tattoo shop, I would say either trying to link with like VH1 or like even like the Black Ink crew, just to like kind of do something like that, like out of my shop, just to give like the artists there a different platform so they're able to build and be good. So even if they were deciding to, you know, start their own shop or go on to do other things, my main thing is like if I'm working with someone, I want to make sure that our connection and our work that we get done allows the both of us to be able to do better things as we go forward. So even if we don't work together after this, we should both be leaving this opportunity better people, you know, business wise and just even as an actual person and whatnot, you know. So I would say those are my top two picks. Like some type of network, VH1 or any of those networks that cater to those type of like shows, and Rock Nation.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right. And down to our final question, guys. Do you guys have any advice that you'd like to give future entrepreneurs that are coming up, just so they can be successful in this space?
I would say just like, I mean, honestly, everyone knows, man, you have to have a good foundation. Just be aware of like your age. Be aware of like set realistic goals. Like, I think one goal I had, and I always tell every young guy this, just to mess around with them, just to joke around, but they think it's like, I just say this to them to say the reaction. I'm like, how old are you? These guys will be like, I'm 25. I'm like 22, 23, whatever. I'm like, all right, bet. Yo, when you turn 30, make sure you have 10K saved. Like just 10K. Like, I don't care what you do. If you turn 30, you're going to look back like, dang, I don't have 10,000 saved. After all the time I've been tricking off money here and there, just like, I don't have 10K saved. So I'd say that just to mess around with them. And then I see where it bites. I would also say just, stay your course. Yo, the best time to work is just always work on yourself, man. Just like when you're doing you and you're in your space. And I know, like, don't get caught up watching other people, because that when you get caught up doing that, you're gonna take away from what you're doing, and then you're gonna focus on something else. Like, I don't know, like I get this example all the time where if there's a dot, right? Yo, please chill. Yo, relax. If there's a dot, and it's my like prime example I show. If there's a dot, okay, so I actually do like, what do you want to do? They're like, oh, I want to do this. I draw a line to that from the dot. I'm like, what else do you want to do? I draw a line here. What else do you want to do? Line, line, line. It ends up like 6 lines. So then I say to the guy like, yo, so what's the one thing you need to really, really focus on? They say this one. So I'm like, yo, to be honest, you actually have to like the dots here, do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and go all the way because you're doing so much stuff all around. You're gonna get nowhere fast. Versus if I stick to this lane and keep going, and exhaust it, then go back and make that play after. So those are the conversations I just have with them automatically. Like and I would say this to any entrepreneur, man: save 10K before you hit 30, and just be focused on what you're doing. And like, trust me, don't get too distracted, and just know what industry you're gonna do, man. Experience is the best thing that you can learn from. Again, my industry is not. It's entertainment only because I was a product of playing pro basketball and doing. I had to sign autographs. I had to do this, that. I didn't take it in like that. I was like, all right, cool, and I'm off this. But fast forward now, because I was in that professional atmosphere, like one company is consulting and one company is not for profit, and so I just used my transferable skills in each of those companies. So, yeah, just know how to communicate too as young black men for sure. You have to learn how to communicate. Like, don't take nothing to the chin. Don't take it to heart. Communicate, iron out the details, and just like, yo, it takes maybe an hour to like get to what you're trying to get to. Like, don't like I say so much stuff, man. I work with young athlete. I always tell these little kids, I'm like, yo, don't be the guy that's like in a classroom, listen to your teacher, yes, this and that. And then when a brother that looks like you, I try to give you game, I try to tell you some stuff, you're gonna act like you don't want to listen. But when you're like, I'm telling you stuff that's gonna like help you. So I think we all can take that approach when we talk to younger guys. Just give them, humble yourself earlier. And yeah, that's me talking from the heart though. But it's all over the place.
No, facts, man.
No, yeah.
That's I feel like there's just so much things that we've learned over the years, so it's like our duty. It would be wrong for us not to like try and put the young guys on game, or even sometimes guys our age, even sometimes guys older than us. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta play our part within the community alone, and then especially with like the young black men. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them get misled from what they see on Instagram or TV or what they might see on their ends or their block or whatever. So it's really on us to like make sure we show them like, yo, you don't have to go that route because it looks cool. Like, you might have to take the long way, but trust me, when you get to that end goal or where you get to that success moment, it's gonna be a lot worth it and a lot less risk. Because a lot of the times when guys want to take the shortcuts or go the cool way, you end up either dead or in jail or in certain circumstances you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
With my advice, I would say, as you work and money comes in, money comes, money goes. But one way for you to keep your money is to manage it well. Like, a lot of people make a lot of money, but people's money management skills is horrible.
Yeah.
So whether you need to try and connect with the right financial advisor, or maybe you know someone that's really good with money, don't be scared to ask questions, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is everything. So the more that you know is the better that you can perform at whatever you're doing. Don't be afraid. Don't think it's not cool. Because for us growing up, we were in school. Any man that sat in front of the class or was asking or answering too many questions with the teacher, like, those guys are teachers' pet. When we started hitting like 25, 26, 27, 28, like, going on, we're like, yo, like, I wish if I could go back, I would have treated school a lot differently. I probably would have sat down with certain teachers and picked their brain. Like, yo, what made you start teaching? And especially with Mr. Kirschenbaum, he was a teacher that was teaching, and he had his own water ski company.
He was sick.
If I could rewind the time and sit down with him, I would have been like, what made you start your business? Like, at the time when you started it, like, how was it back then? Because entrepreneurship back then is like way different than now. Yeah. That's one thing. Just whoever you're around, and if you're able to get information from them and they're willing to speak to you, like, listen, soak in the information, take notes, do whatever you need to do to remember what you're talking about, and then find ways to pick out certain pieces and apply it to your life. That's
That
part
goes
of
so deep. Because like even with myself and coaching basketball, like I tell these guys all the time, like, listen, I can tell you something from my experience, and this person can tell you something from their experience, but it's your job to take that information and make it your own. You know what I mean? Like take from that and learn from that and make it your own, because like what might have worked for me might not work for the next person, you know.
Right.
But some things from what I did, you can say, okay, you know what, this guy did it this way. Let me just tweak it a little bit and just do this, and then maybe that might work for me. Maybe it might not work for me, but you know, like take that information and make it your own. Like that's a big thing, man. That's a big thing, because there's a lot of people who, like Dane was saying earlier, like kind of like not reinvent the wheel. That's important, but it's also important in every business that you're in. Like your identity is in that business. You know what I mean? So like that's something that like it translates into entrepreneur, like business skills, the marketing, into coaching in life. That piece of information translates a lot.
100%, man. And one other major thing. Oh, sorry to cut you off, brother.
No, I was gonna say I always listen to that Jay-Z line. Hope did that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that, right? Because it's like that's because if I'm gonna tell somebody something, it's because I made that mistake probably 18 times. So if you correct one or two things, you probably might solve the mystery that I couldn't figure out those 18 times, right? So
100%, man. It's like saying you have a future to build, but not a community to impress. You know, so a lot of people just need to just stay down 10 toes and just grind. It's okay if you're not driving the Benz or the BMW, or you have your own condo or whatever the case is. Like your route's not going to be the same as everyone else, and a lot of things people need to realize too. A lot of people that post certain things aren't really living that life, and even if they are, like kudos to them. Like you shouldn't be comparing yourself. As long as you're making daily progress in what you're doing yourself, that's all that really matters.
That's
Yeah.
So quickly before we jump to the last part of the podcast, Dave, you missed this question, so I'm gonna ask it to you. What is your favorite NBA jersey of all time?
Favorite NBA jersey of all time? Yo, honestly, Allen Iverson, the black 76er jersey, home. with the black shorts, with the AIs, you know, the one with the zipper at the top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Now you got Coach mad, yo.
The questions, man. You got to put questions on that, man.
Oh yeah, the questions.
You have to put questions on that.
Questions. Yeah.
All right. So we reached the point of the podcast where we give everyone the opportunity to plug their social media and plug anything else that they might be working on. So we'll start with Coach.
Yeah, you know, same thing as always in me. You know, real deal _Francis. You know, we're back in the gym, so exciting. You know, last week was our first like real week of training camp. That week, you know, so we got some guys throwing up and stuff, but it's all part of the process, you know. Dane knows about that shit. Yeah, this is all part of the process. So we're doing that now. And then next week we're back in the gym a little bit more, trying to get some guys back over the border, because you know still can't cross from U.S. stuff. So still try to get some guys back over the border, but it's looking good. Like as I was saying the other day, like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like when COVID hit, bro, like we're like, yo, we don't know if it's gonna be a season. We don't know what's gonna happen, because like, and it was tough because since the host national, like, there's so much money, so much time already invested into everything going on. Like if everything stopped, it's like shit. What happened now? So now that we kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel, it's like.
Congrats, by the way.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Tough.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, we see that light. So now it's like, now we're just like foaming. Like, okay, this is done. Let's get to this. So now it's just a process. Now. So yeah, so that's what I'm working on. That's it.
All right, Bill.
Social media wise, Philly OPE on all platforms. Right now we can't really be doing events and stuff, so we're working on a community project that we kind of planned from like, I can't even remember how long ago it was. From when we were in high school, I was supposed to be doing this. All right. We're supposed to be doing this, so we're pretty much going to be launching like a pretty much like a community center, like a program for kids to pretty much allow them to like get a look into certain careers they might be interested in. So if they're like looking into being like an engineer or a producer, anything like that, we're pretty much putting together a program where they'll be able to sit down with certain professionals in that field and get a better understanding, like hands-on lessons. Pretty much, yeah, within their respective area, like whatever they're interested in. Because a lot of kids will go to school and they're like, "Oh, I want to take this, I want to take that." Yeah. But then once they start realizing what it is, they're like, "Nah, I don't want to do this." Yep. We're trying to give them an opportunity to get some insight, pretty much before they get into like college or secondary school. So like right out of high school or maybe even like their last year, we're still working out the fine details, but that's going to be one thing that we're putting together. So that program will be called Young and Gifted. And there will be like a section in there where we're going to be giving away like scholarships for like young Black students as well. So that part of it will be like the Young, Black, and Gifted part. So if you're familiar with like the On Point brand, we have like a slogan and certain apparel that we have that's under that category. That's dope. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. If you're in the Toronto, Scarborough area, you need any ink work done, make sure you check us out at Rockstar Tattoo Parlor on Instagram.
Dewayne?
Instagrams, Chaz_Tenenbaum, and Twitter is Casher10.
Simple. Dane?
So my Instagram is Who is Dane Smith. That's my main social page. Same thing on Facebook. I would say www.danesmith.ca for all like inquiries for anything. Pretty easy to find. It just depends like what the conversation is, but we have a project due to from this summer. This I Am Basketball Academy that just started. So we're looking to launch that. It's already been launched since the summer, but it's not your regular academy. This is more like what's the point of me playing so much basketball and I just go to a regular 9-to-5 job and I can't just give transferable skills, common sense mostly, because some of these kids are like common sense is not their first thing. So so we just launched the academy. 66 kids already signed up. We can only do maybe 18. But yeah, it's on the website. I don't know what the end game is. If I can send some players to Mr. Francis, if I can send some if I could just send them out to anybody, then I just try and make that connection. But other than that, we're just gonna lay low till gyms open back up. And yeah, I just try to make if anyone has anything that they want to do in the community or anything, hit me up. Let's iron out the details and let's make it grow.
All right. Okay. Randy at the step. So what I'm gonna do is in the video, I'll make sure to put his Instagram and certain things that he wants to promote just right by the square. So we'll still make sure that he gets his promotion.
I'll drop his IG. IG is Randy Rose, so RandyRozaay. That's his IG. So if you guys are interested in kind of following anything he's doing, jump on IG. He works with a lot of cool people. Like he's always on there with CJ McCollum and a bunch of cool guys. He just did some stuff with Viola, with Al Harrington. He's been doing he's been busy. So he's been doing a lot of stuff. So if you guys are interested in anything he's doing, you guys can definitely just follow the IG. And,
Yep. And then as for me, you can follow me at The Senator. Make sure to check out the Not So Soft podcast. We release every Friday with myself, Nino Rockwell, and Kino the Great. Don't forget to follow the Chatroom Podcast Instagram page at the.chatroompod. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Chatroom Podcast is on every podcast app right now. We're on iHeart, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google, third parties. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out. We release every Tuesday, and we have YouTube exclusives that we try to put out every Friday too on the YouTube channel. But now that I'm back to work, it's a lot of editing to do just for myself. So I may have to do like every other Friday, but don't worry, there'll still be some exclusives going on there. Before we leave, I want to make sure to send a special shout out and a big thank you to Dane and Phil for being on here.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Also, Randy, even though he's not able to accept the thank you right now, but we want to send a shout out to him. And a special, even bigger shout out to the two special guests that we didn't know we were going to have. The girls from Dane's girl and Phil's girls.
Cleo, say hi. Yes.
They're superstars in the making. And one thing that we always want to say is we want to send big special shout outs to all the girl dads out there. And as you guys are showing right here, that dads are really important in their baby girls' lives. So big shout out to that and thank you for that.
They always talk about black fathers being missing in their kids' lives, and we got the examples here. So for sure.
Exactly.
Big up.
So this has been the Chatroom Podcast, your favorite baller's favorite podcast, and we are out. Peace.
Take care.